Hey, greetings and welcome. This is the Nova vlog. I don't know if I will actually start it today or if I'll record something later and start off, but you know, this is my Nova vlog. I'll probably record the B-roll of something when I'm walking around. But today I'm playing in the Compendium tournament. Today is Thursday of Nova, and it's a 3-round Compendium event, the last goodbye of Compendium. I've actually specifically for this event, I already had Chaos Demons, some of them, but I've painted up a full Chaos Demon roster. So I'm running 6 pinks, 7 Bloodletters and 7 Plague Bearers, and then I'll just rotate between that. They did mostly survive. Unfortunately, while magnetic transportation is great, it's not that great when you put in your checked luggage, because obviously I didn't expect them to throw it around so strongly, so it kind of broke more than I would like to reveal, but it's all still usable. I got the team painted in like a week, so I had to paint 20 miniatures, but it's fun, all right? It's not my best standard, but it's still acceptable. So I'm gonna go down, register, and then I'll either record each round or I'll see what I'll do. I think I might just do a recap after, because I can come back here. So I'll see, but I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Okay, so it's been a little bit longer. So for the Compendium tournament, I was running 6 pink horrors, 7 bloodletters, and 7 plague bearers. So my first matchup was on loot against Chaos Space Marines. So I went to 6 bloodletters and 6 pinks, with 5 of them having their guns upgraded to 4/5 damage. So it was quite stable turning point 1, and then turning point 2 I won initiative, spent a CP to get ceaseless on my pinks and 5 attacks on my bloodletters, and then basically murdered most of the Chaos Space Marines. Managed to wipe them out by the end of turning point 3. So then I maxed basically loot, and because I had bloodletters I could take seek and destroy, so I took eliminate, guard, rout, and rob and ransack, so I managed to max that all. My opponent was super fun, and it was just, I was surprised by, I thought the bloodletters were going to do the most work, but it was actually just the pinks, because they were just like obliterating Chaos Space Marines and either doing 4 damage or if they got unlucky 12, so really good there. Then in round 2 I was against orcs, so 10 Compendium orcs with like shooters, 5 looters and 5 boys. So this time we're playing secure, and I took 6 plague bearers with my upgraded pinks. Played quite defensively turning point 1, using my last activation to steal the middle right objective, so it was free. Then I popped my defensive Nogleploy and my ceaseless pinks, and then basically because of the injury bubble, the orcs started hitting on 4s, and it's at 2-inch range. So they basically were only getting 1 hit or no hits in combat, so my plague bearers were basically just murdering them all. And then once I'd started taking the lead in number of bodies killed, my remaining pinks, because I'd lost 1, they just started shooting the orcs apart. So I managed to get 1 point on rob and ransack, and then I maxed everything else. No, I maxed I took security, sorry. So I maxed protect assets, central control, and escort operative with a plague bearer, and basically secured the left flank and just pushed up. But that was really fun. The boss snob was tough because he was 3 APL, and like his rocket and looters, 3 of them hit on 4s because of their targeting optics. So the orcs were surprisingly durable, but my plague bearers helped in the end. And then in my final game, we're playing capture, and I was against Chaos Space Marine again. And this time he took 4 bolt guns, a heavy bolter, and leader with fist, and put ceaseless on all the bolt guns. So this was actually quite more tough than I expected, because I went 6 bloodletters again and 6 pinks, because every game the pink were the leader. And then basically, he managed to kill 2. He was killing a lot of my plague bloodletters quickly, but then my 2 remaining bloodletters basically managed to kill 2 Marines, and then my pinks effectively killed the rest, just because they were able to wear them down. And then when you just have lots of operatives with ceaseless firing 4/5 bolts, eventually they'll get through. But it was actually super close because the Caesar spoke guns turned out to be really effective because they also had lethal 5 up. So they were actually shooting me apart quite effectively. It was just, I was able to get angles, and because I out-activated them, I was able just to get enough shots to basically pull me through. But in that game, I got 1 point on Rob and Ransack, 2 points on Eliminate Guard, and 2 points on Rout. And then at the end of the game, well, at the end of the tournament, I won. So I won the narrative, well, no, I won the Compendium event, which was running at the same time as the narrative event. So we had 14 players in the Compendium. There was a mix of 2 Chaos Demons, few Tyranids, some Imperial Guard, and then like a nice mix of everything else. But it was super fun. And then now I'm on, because it's now Saturday, I've done a lot of stuff. I'm now playing in the GT with my Necropox Infected. So this is day 1. So I think round 1 is going to be loot, and then it's 4 rounds. And then in the evening we've got the live game for the new edition of Kill Team. So I'll probably be around there. So I'm going to head off, play my games, and then I'll get back to everyone in a bit. I might record after round 2 or at the end of the day. So we'll see. I might even have guests. So catch you all in a bit. Okay, so it's day 4, 5. It's a Sunday of the Nova Open. So before we go to day 2, so round 1, I was into Corsairs with capture on Into the Dark. It was actually quite worrying at first because I thought it was going to be loot, but it's capture. He played quite offensively, defensively, like defensively with offense, turning point 1. So then I moved up cautiously, and then I managed to get like he injured down my Lumberghast down to like 6 wounds. So I charged into his leader, then ended the turning point charging my leader into his leader on my middle point. Then I won initiative, and because his Shredder and Sniper were on his back middle point, I barged out of combat into those, D3 mortal wound both, and then killed both. And then basically then killed his leader and kind of smashed everything. So then by the end of turning point 3, I only had 1 model left. And because it was capture, it was just kind of easy just to run on top of the objectives. But it was super fun, and he played them really offensively well. He didn't realise, even though I told him about barge, he didn't realise they could barge out of combat. So it was kind of just like, it was like, oh, I was like, yeah, because they can barge in and out of combat. But Corsair's still quite threatening, but not when Hulks just rushed them down. Then in game 2, I was against Leander and his Hyrotech on Into the Dark on Secure. And we played on quite an even map. I won attacker own, let him defend. So then we played quite defensively, and then I did the double dash up. So the problem for him, he put his recover item in the top right corner, so I immediately moved one of my glitchlings there. So then if he opened the door, he'd be -1 dice, and I was already contesting. And then he did open the door turning point 1, which then allowed my leader to barge in and then just punch a warrior down to 2 wounds. And then from there, it kind of, he won initiative, but then he took the bait of moving and dashing his Cryptek onto my back objective, back left objective, taking it, hitting 2 Hulks, killing a mutant and stunning both Hulks. But then the Lumberghast charged, once they killed the Glitchling, charged to where the Glitchling was, and his leader doing D3 mortal wounds to both. Then the Flesh Screamer charged his leader, and then my other Glitchling stole back the point. And then from there, it just turned into a massive slow scrum. Because he had committed so much onto his left-hand flank, I basically won the right and middle, and moved up through the right-hand side into the middle and stole both of his objectives on that side, while my Hulks eventually ground down everything in that room without losing too much until they both died at the end of turning point 3. But by then they'd killed his Despotech twice, his Cryptek, and his Deathmark, and then in turning point 4 his Cryptek and Deathmark didn't come back. And then it was just kind of over by then. So it was still really fun and close, though, because the thing is, the problem is I was waiting for that door to open, and I was just playing a grindy down game. So when the door was open, like, my game plan just went into overdrive, and with Rout, Robin Ransack and Rampant Nightmare, it was pretty straightforward for me. Then in round 3, I was into Eluciding Starstriders on loot. So this time I won the initiative roll-off and went first and opened both the left and right doors. So then he moved in on the left-hand side with his Tech Priest dude and looted the point. Then I looted my point on the right-hand side. Then he took a shot on my Flesh Screamer, doing about 5 wounds of damage with like 4 hits and a crit. Then I charged in. He rolled 1 for his Voltgeist field. I defended it and then fought twice to murder him, so then he was immediately down to 9 operatives. Then in turning point 2, I won initiative, looted 2 points, forced him to loot a point on my side with an APL to equalise, but then I just started killing more. So by the end of turning point 2, I'd killed Vayne, I'd killed his heavy gunner, well, not heavy gunner, Voidmaster, killed his dog, because it just turned into a massive scrum. Like, there was a lot I killed. And then by the end of turning point 4, he was wiped out effectively because he had the assassin left, and then she effectively just got nuked by sludge grubs who were just like, spamming key blasts because they're so deadly on Into the Dark. So after that, I managed to win that 23 points overall. And then in round 4, I was into Jimmy on Into the Dark again, 4 times in a row. I'm happy with that. And it was on secure. So I call this map the Mosh Pit of Death, but I've never actually played on it. And it would took me like ages to get my head around. So it was like, I misdeployed a bit. I probably should have put the Flesh Screamer on Engage, on Conceal, but I wanted it to threaten the middle room. And then there was a mine in the middle. So when I dashed my bug onto it, the Curse Mite, I expected it to blow up to clear that room so I could just move in, and then I rolled a 2, so it didn't blow up, and then he shot the Curse Mite, so it was kind of a waste. But it turned into this really long scrum, and I managed to get, I should have picked Route instead of Eliminate Guard. I didn't realise how close I could get to the drop zone with Route, because then it would have pushed me ahead. So I picked the wrong tack up there, because I got 2 points on Rampant Nightmare and 1 on Rubber Ransack. But then because I went more ahead on the primary, whereas Jimmy got more on the tack ops, we tied. And as a result of that, I'm now in the top 8. We're both in the top 8. So I think I'm playing Jimmy again for the next round. We're probably going to be loot, I don't know. But I'm really happy. I had super fun games, especially the last one. And now I'm 3 years in a row in Nova making top 8. So technically I'm on the same record as when I first won Nova, with 3 wins and a draw. So we'll see, anything could happen. I'm playing for fun. This is probably, well, it will be my last tournament of the edition. And I'm glad it's Nova. I'm having so much fun. Everyone's super friendly, and I'm loving my Necropox. Everyone's loving my Necropox. So hopefully it's a final versus me and Orion in the Gellerpox showdown. But we'll see. I'll chat to you guys later and see you in a bit. Okay, so now it's Tuesday and I'm in New York. So a lot has happened. So what was it? Round 1 for Nova Day 2, I was against Jimmy again. I was actually wearing my suit because my thing was, if I made it to Day 2 top 8 cut, I'd wear my suit. And I did. So it was very fun. We were rematching this time on loot on a different Into the Dark map. Because originally we thought we were open, and then it turned out due to numbering placement, we were actually on Into the Dark. And this time on the board, I was defender again. And it was a super close game. I think what swung it was basically winning initiative every turning point. Because I won scouting, let Jimmy go first, then won initiative turning point 2. Then immediately looted 2 points, so I went 4-2. Then like my Lumberghast on the left flank managed to survive, push up, kill. I managed to get some early kills on his tracker as well. And then I also won initiative turning point 3 and managed to do a double loot again. So I had gone 4-2, 4-2, 2 turns, and then in the last turn I only went 2 points on the primary. By that point Jimmy could only go 1, but he played a really good game of denying my tac ops. Like, I think in all the games I've played, in general, Jimmy's been the best at actually curtailing my Seek and Destroy. So I was able to get 1 point on Rubber Ransack and max Rampant Nightmares, but he stopped me getting, I got 1 point on Route, he stopped me maxing Route, because last game he stopped me getting any points on Eliminate Guard. So he played that really, really well. It's just like, if he had won initiative, at least turning point 3, he probably, or 4, he probably would have been able to swing it. but it was really tough and a super fun game. So I managed to win that narrowly. Then in round 2, once again, on into the dark against Shane from Command Point and his Felgor, and this time we're playing capture. So we started on another Dakota into the dark map, and he went first because I gave him initiative. He moved up basically everywhere, threw a stun on my left-hand flank and managed to hit my Lumberghast and Bloatspawn, but then I charged into his goat and did D3 mortal wounds. Then I won initiative, and with that, no, he won initiative, sorry, and then he pushed up some more, but then on the right-hand flank, on the right-hand side, he charged my Flesh Screamer and did some damage to it. But then I charged in with my leader into his Gorehorn onto the point, flipped the point, frenzied his Gorehorn. No, sorry. I charged the Flesh Screamer, barged out of combat into his Gong and big mace guy, and killed them both with double fights. And then basically my leader killed his Gorehorn. My tentacle monster charged in and also frenzied his Pox Spray. And then he gave an APL, it tried to fall back on a 4-up, it was trapped, so it couldn't fall back from the Bloatspawn, and then just frenzied and died. And it was just kind of like a really big scrim. And then turning point 3, he won initiative, and then just charged my leader. End of turning point 2, he charged my leader with his Mangler, did 11 wounds, and I needed to save 2 to live. And I did nothing. No field, no pains, are just destroyed. Then he won initiative turning point 3, and because there was this big scrum, I'd gone 4-2 on the primary. 3-3 on the primary, sorry. And then his cyborg dude, over 8 attacks, only got 1 hit on my mutant, who then knocked him down to 1 wound. Then I activated, frenzied him, and then used the flea to kill him. And it was just kind of that swung it for me, because then my Lumberghast charged into his Mangler, killed it, double fought, killed it again. So I was able to go 4-2 that turn, even though he was pushing down my right-hand flank. And then turning point 4, won initiative, charged into his leader, killed him, and then the Curse Might finished off his leader. So I completely won the middle room, and he took the right-hand flank, so we ended 3-3 on turning point 4. The interesting thing, he'd taken their faction tack up 3 instead of Scorned Their Ways, and told me you really should have taken Scorned My Ways, because he should have. He killed my leader at the end of turning point 2. But it was a super close and fun game. It was swingy on both sides, and Shane's the best Felgor player I've played. He played them amazingly well. But it was a tough match on capture for him. So, but then, yeah, really fun game, and that left me into the final. So into the final, I was in with Orion. So we had a Gellerpox mirror final. And what people don't know is I've been telling Orion. So me and Orion Orion's been teaching me Gellerpox for ages, and we've been sharing tech. We've both wanted the Gellerpox mirror in the final for Nova for about 3 or 4 months. And here's a message reminding me, Orion, of our deal, right? And he managed to keep it. And I was super happy about this, because Nova is my last tournament for the edition. I won't be playing Kill Team 21 anymore, or Kill Team 2.0. Kill Team 3.0 is my jam. And I wanted to close it out against a good friend in the best way possible. So we randomized the map. It was going to be open or into the dark. We were happy with either. So 1, 2, 3 would be open, 4, 5, 6 would be into the dark. And it turned out to be into the dark. We picked secure because we just wanted an even match. And it started off quite evenly, turning point 1. We went 3-3. And then we kind of went a bit crazy. So my leader pushed down on his left-hand flank, moved back, flamed, and then charged. Then his Bloatspawn charged, double fight my leader, and then died, but brought it down to 1 wound when exploding. Then his Glitchling charged in, got 1 hit, and then because I'd failed 4 phone up in rolls in a row, he died and got robbed and ransacked. and then it was just kind of, it turned in like to a huge scrum. His bloat spawn was in the middle of the room. I charged his bloat spawn. Then his lumberghast charged into my bloat spawn and fluffed. My bloat spawn was killing his bloat spawn. Then like my flesh screamer charged his leader, and then my lumberghast charged his leader, and it basically turned into a huge scrum of Nightmare Hulks, because I think at one point we had 6 Nightmare Hulks all in combat with each other, just kind of fighting in the middle. So it got very interesting. Then the end of turning point 3, he managed to flip it 4-2. But then and then managed to maintain at turning point 4, because unfortunately my lumberghast just died because it could fail to kill a glitchling, and then I did fail to kill his leader just, but I'd managed to kill a lot of his little things. So then but he'd managed to get max on tech infect. No, he got 1 point on tech infect, maxed rob and ransack, and maxed rout, whereas I had maxed rampant nightmare and gotten 1 point on route, and I couldn't get my other point on rob and ransack because there was no one I could like just kill. Because the interesting thing, if my leader had won the left-hand flank, he would have like completely dominated the game, because then there would have just been 2 glitchlings and a mutant, which he would have killed. So it was like super close, but also really, really fun. Like there was so many fun interactions. Like when we had the bloat spawn off, it was it was just so crazy, because we were just matching each other. It was like we both were like, do we want to double fight? No, we're both going to do Blessings of Infection and Rust Emanations. So even though I lost, I think it was 2013, something like that, it was so fun. Like we both had a really great time, and for us it was the perfect way to end Kill Team 2.0. So much fun. We managed to get Gellerpox 1-2. But overall, so I placed second out of 76 players, which was really cool. 3 years in a row, I've made Nova top 8. First year I won, then I came third, then I came second. So I'm very happy with how all of that went. That was very, very good for me. And yeah, I just had so many fun games, especially on the last day. The last day I basically got to play all my friends. Like playing Jimmy, Shane, and Orion was so much fun. Like they're all really great people. Like, you know, Jimmy from Kel Team, he has like a YouTube channel as well, which you check out. Shane, obviously from Command Point, he has a YouTube channel which you should already be on, and as well as his Discord. And then Orion from Plasma Spam, because everyone from Plasma Spam is really cool. So it's just fun. I had so much fun. Like, I'm so happy how Kill Team's worked out for me, because I've made so many new friends. I met so many cool people. Nova was so much fun. I met so many really amazing people. Everyone was like coming up, speaking to me. It was great seeing people I've like known now for 3 years. Like, it was just so cool, so much fun. I think it was the greatest way for me to close out the edition. There are some few upcoming events, but I think I'd rather end it on a high with Nova. Like, Nova is always going to be the most important tournament to me, because it was the first tournament I ever traveled to independently, also by myself, and then won it, and it kind of changed my life in a way. But everyone's just so cool, especially in America. And everywhere around. Like, the stream was cool for the new edition. Alexa and Adrian were amazing. They're so much fun to just watch and chat to and play with. Like, they're great. And yeah, it's so much fun. So I'm really happy with how my Nova went, because overall I got first in the Compendium, met all my like friends from America, and then came second overall at 76 players, and got my dream final, Gellerpox final, because the top 8 was Gellerpox with Orion, Gellerpox with me, Commandos with Benjamin, and then Shane in 4th, and I think Jimmy came 5th with Scouts. But all the top 8 is here. I just kind of can't remember them all. But it was just so much fun. Like, I think there was Mike Cortez, I think a guy called Oliver, and I know it was this Disco Tango Sigma. But it was just like super fun, like really very top 8, apart from the 2 Gellerpox and 2 Scout. But it was just really nice, and a great way. Like, Matt and all the Nova team ran a great tournament. If you've never been to Nova, I'd highly recommend. I'll be going again next year with the new edition. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me today. I was going to post all my B-roll, like just me going out, but I never recorded anything in DC and now in New York. so I'm just going to relax. I should have another video out by the end of the week. But yeah, please remember to like and subscribe, as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of my vlog and all the Nova stuff. I've got stuff with the new edition to cover eventually, because I'll be back in the UK next week. But yeah, thanks to all my patrons. Without you, I wouldn't be able to like do all of this. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, remember, I've got a Discord you can check out through this episode description below. But no matter what happens in Nova and America, there's always a chance to win, as long as you can roll a crit.